The monster down the hall just wanted to play. I was 15 and my little brother Julian was 12 when he finally admitted why he liked hurting me. We were in the basement and he had just locked the deadbolt from the inside. He was holding my dad's heavy steel wrench, but the scariest part wasn't the wrench. It was his eyes. They were completely blank, like a doll's eyes. He tilted his head and whispered, "I just want to see what happens when you break." My parents were at a neighborhood barbecue, just 2 doors down. I didn't scream. Screaming always made Julian excited. When I was 10, Julian put crushed glass in my football cleats. He was 7. My mom said I must have stepped on a broken bottle and told me to be more careful. When I was 13, he locked me inside an old chest freezer in the garage. I was in there for 2 hours before the lid finally gave way. My dad said Julian was just playing hide and seek and punished me for breaking the freezer hinge. They sent me to anger management. They said I needed to be a better big brother, so I stopped telling them. Standing in the basement, I just stared at the wrench. Suddenly, Julian smiled, dropped the tool, and walked back upstairs. "Not today," he said. 3 days later, my dad told Julian he couldn't sit in the front seat of his truck. My dad turned his back to fix the lawnmower. Julian didn't scream or argue. He just picked up a heavy cinder block and dropped it directly onto our dad's leg. The bones snapped loudly. My dad collapsed, screaming in agony. Julian just stood there, watching him, with that exact same empty smile. The paramedics came. The police came. My mom was sobbing, telling the cops it was a freak accident. But the officer looked at Julian, then looked at me. "Is that what happened, son?" the officer asked. I rolled up my jeans and showed him the deep, jagged scars on my ankles from the cleats. I told him about the freezer. I told him about the wrench. Julian was taken away in a police cruiser that afternoon. He spent his teenage years in juvenile psychiatric care, and he never came home. I'm 32 now. I live halfway across the country. I have a good life, but every single night before I go to bed, I still check every lock in the house.